Hey guys, it's iCooper here, and uh, I wanted to start a new series where I go through my process of attempting to get out of what is known as ELO hell. And if you don't know what that word means or what ELO means, I'll inform you just real quick. ELO is League of Legends term for your rating in the ranked system. Determines the quality of opponents you get set against, and it also determines what kind of what rank you are. So this is the first game I had that was good, but I'll be recording good and bad games. Uh, because it's a journey, isn't it? So I play as Tristana here, and I'm also duo queuing this game with my friend Wormwolf here, and oh boy, this stuff lags like a lot. That's really slow. So this is normal speed, I'm pretty sure. It should be normal speed. It just seems so fast because it's like laggy. Software is just glitchy like that. But what we did was we had been talking about how wanted to go gank their blue. And luckily their Warwick wasn't going to get a leash or anything, or no one was guarding him there, so we were able to get a free kill. And this looks really weird. The replay software is kind of glitchy, and I'll try to resolve that. But for this first game, I guess we'll just have to deal with it. So when I play Tristana, my main goal is just to farm as much as possible, which is why if you look at my items down here, I started out with a cloth armor and 5 health pots, and that's because I want to build up to my my Wriggles Lantern really quickly, and it allows me to get a lot of creep farm. In the end, though, I don't actually manage to out-creep Sivir, but that's because I was moving with my team a bit more than she was, so... Still a very good game overall. So up here we've got my friend versus Irelia, and he does a pretty good job considering how good of a solo top Irelia is. We've got their Akali mid, our Kassadin, and then me bot lane against Sivir. Me with Sivir Sona versus their Soraka Sivir. Or me, Tristana Sona, and Sivir Soraka. So we're going to be focusing on bot lane most of the time. And now it's starting to act more normal. Yeah, okay, cool, it looks good. I have a latency of 31,598. There are, however, some bad things I do in the lane. I'll point those out when we get to them, but since games can be pretty long and the laning phase is probably boring to most of you, I'll just speed this up a little bit so you can see what's happening a bit faster. I'll pause down once we get to the mid game, but at this point, yeah. So right there, I tried going for a kill and I couldn't get it. Now she has to beat, and I won't have the chance to go for that kill later. So right now we have to go save Kassadin. Akali decides to not follow up, so that's good for our Kassadin. He didn't die. So at this point, in comparison of creep farm at 19 and Sivir's at 15, so I'm doing well there. I have 1 assist from that kill at the beginning of the game. So I'm definitely ahead. That Kassadin gets sniped, but our Xin Zhao picks it up, so it's okay. There are definitely more times when I get greedy. I foresee it to happen. And there are times where I take unnecessary damage, but having the cloth armor also helps in bot lane because more often than not, bot lane has an AD carry. Which, okay, this is coming close to a point where I mess up. So, bot lane has an AD carry, and having cloth armor increases your resistances to those attacks. That way you, don't die. And the health pots also help with sustain if your support doesn't or can't heal super quickly, like Sona. And then there's also champions like Janna who don't have a heal at all, so that this build works particularly well with Janna, and Janna's a good pair for what's it called, Tristana, because the shield that she has gives increased attack damage, which is really great for someone like Tristana. Actually, we're not getting close because I know that I believe I B before we get into this big fight that like is the big mistake of this game, really. So here we are, it's just going through the usual. Top lane's doing exceptionally well. And here's where I get into the mistake, right here. So I overextend. Sivir gets double kill. So that was a big problem for me. And I'm going on about how that was stupid. But I'm able to pick up my entire Wriggles Lantern and tier 1 boots within the first time I have to go back. Unfortunately, however, we lose our bottom turret because of that carelessness. But everything's going well in mid and top lane. And then the ignite goes off of Warwick. Warwick dies, but this turret will no longer have a life, sadly. Irelia snipes that Xin, and nothing Mordekaiser can do against that. Although he does pick up the Irelia, which is great. So for the next bit, I'm pretty sure this game's about 40 minutes long, I'm not sure. It's mainly me farming. And as an AD carry, this is what you want to do, is just be farming for most of the game. That way you can get a lot of money to buy really powerful items and proceed to face roll your team. And that's what I just choose to do. So our team has good dragon control, and we're able to get this. I think we get all the dragons in the game. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but it's definitely possible. One of the other great things about Tristana is that she has her W, which allows for really easy escapes, especially like in comparison to champions like Sivir and like Kog'Maw, who are some AD carries for comparison. They don't have natural escapes. Kog'Maw has a slow, and Sivir has a move speed buff, but it's not a direct jump like Tristana's W is. And here's another mistake I make. So what happened right there is that Sona had ulted, and I figured, hey, Sona ult, we should probably go in. But that didn't work out too well for me, and I die. So, whatever. What can you do? So we're gonna skip ahead a bit. Up to here, up to mid. So, we're still at the whole 1 point. I had gotten a kill in mid lane. This is after we killed that bot turret and just moved up about 2 minutes later. And this is where things really start to pick up. For whatever reason, in team fights, they choose to just completely leave me alone, which was interesting. And I guess that's kind of what happens when you play with people at this elo. Because there's a certain point in elo where people call it elo hell, and a lot of people think that because for whatever reason the elo system starts you off at 1200 elo, but 1200 elo is not where a lot of people's skill levels are when they first start off playing ranked. So it doesn't make much sense if... Oh, cool. That live stream's playing an ad. That's good.
But get your own.
When you turn on the Sony, you can't
Well,
show it off.
here's an idea. Sony, you should hire me, because I just played an ad of yours in my video. No. But yeah, it starts off a lot of people at 1200 elo, but that's not where a lot of people can stay. So you end up getting people who haven't played ranked as much or at all, and then they do really badly or feed or leave the game and things like that, and then your elo gets dropped because of that, and it's very hard to get back out, because when you get into the 1200 range, you start losing elo because of the people who are causing trouble, like the feeders, and hence the word elo hell, because you can never climb out, and I just smacked my microphone. But while the farming and pushing continues, since League of Legends is a fairly slow game, I want to talk about what happened this weekend. So this weekend it was my school LAN party for my robotics team, and that was really fun. It was last night, actually. Last night being Friday night, from 7 to 7. And I stayed up the whole time. I slept for like maybe half an hour. And I'm tired. I did come home though at like 8 and slept until 4 or 5. But other than that, I really haven't gotten much sleep. And they wasted like 45 ultimates trying to get that Sona.
Dominating.
And then we end up actually winning the fight. And there's my first. This is where the game just turns immensely in my favor. And that Keston's got really good reaction time. Like he knows that right. He wants to use his flash right as Akali kicks, but not too early, so that Akali kicks to his newly flashed location. So with Irelia here, we know we can't really push that turret. And jeez, the replay software lags. But we know we can't really push that turret, so I back off. And then Xin Zhao, who gets clairvoyanced, gets almost gets stopped before he bees, but then he managed. They don't chase into the bush because I'm sure they were fearing that I would turn on them in some way. So. Now I want this. At this point, I'm looking at my farm and I'm saying, wait, Sivir's at 96. I'm at 77. That's not right. But there's a lot of the lanes that are pushed up too far for me to actually do anything about that. So I decided to just go into the jungle and kill creeps. But then Xin says he wants blue, so I'm like, all right, fine. Let's run around in circles for a bit. And he takes it and then leaves the little ones for me. That's fine. I can just take some little creeps. No big deal. There's some skirmishing going on in other lanes, but nothing too big. However, there's this like 17-man gank on Kassadin. Kassadin almost gets away, but the Warwick ult prevents him from getting away. I try ulting Warwick off, and I do, but not in time. So we're moving along quite readily. A lot of their team is squishy, and they don't seem to be paying much interest to me, which is good. Or at least good for me. Not necessarily good for them, but this is a really bad place. And Zin's like, I'm gonna go back in there, guys, because I can do this. I can 5v1 their team. Aw, yeah. And I'm just like, rocket jump, because I'm cool. And then Victor's like, I got this. Can't defend this turret. Oh god, what's happening? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. But then I managed to pick up a kill. Well, once again, I still haven't died since I got my last kill. Sadly, though, Victor died. Victor's getting mad because Sona won't CV, and the Sona wanted to take Flash Clarity instead of Flash CV. I'm like, why? I don't even think I saw the Sona use Clarity even once. It was really kind of bad, actually. She's kind of a bad Sona. She had good ults, though, so whatever. I can't really complain. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tired. Should probably go to bed. Oh, I'm tired. Probably am going to go to bed after this. I need to. I'm so exhausted. But we're going to skip ahead a little bit here. Just speed up. So that was just me farming more. I was able to set up a ward because my rig was Lantern. and avoided getting ganked, so that is awesome. Then they, like awesome people, instead of just going away, even because I was fine, they decided to go back in. So I'm going to slow down for this fight here. They decide to engage, someone gets caught in the Sona ult, then Sivir dies. I am not getting touched at all, no one's paying any notice to me. Any notice at all. I get a triple kill. So it's just like, was it worth it to just completely ignore the Tristana that's devastating your team? Like, really? Because they didn't even touch me. I had lost, like, no health. I lost enough health to be healed by my Wriggle's Lantern and a few auto attacks. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. So, I mean, Macaulay comes out, hurts me. I'm just like, nope, I'm gonna rocket jump away. And what is that? And I'm gonna B and grab my Infinity Edge straight up, and now we continue the speed. Probably easier if I just keep this on camera lock, actually. So I'm just like, gotta grab wolves, because I need more farm and all the lanes are pushed up and Sona's taking top lane and I don't want to go mid because that's kind of overextending. Now I have people there, but then everyone else comes out, so I can't really farm, because the caster with AoE is the better farmer. Like, cause he can just one-shot all of the minions, and I can't do that, so team fight breaks out. I'm a little bit late for the party, but I'm still able to get in there and pick up some kills and just tank the turret until it dies. Just on a tank, guys. It's the new meta, and it is OP. OP as fuck. So we're continuing on here. This game's just about wrapped up. So now we're deciding to go for Baron, which it's a great time to Baron. Actually, no, it's not a good time to Baron because they are all up and we just lost one. We cannot Baron right now, and Xin can't solo it. So I mean, it's not like he can force the Baron or anything. So I'm just gonna pick up a Zeal for a bit of critical chance to go well with my Infinity Edge. For those of you who don't know, Infinity Edge increases your critical strike damage into 250%, so instead of doing 200%, you do 250%, which is really good, and the Zeal gives attack speed, movement speed, and critical strike chance, so it goes really well. They go really well hand in hand together. Zeal can upgrade into a Phantom Dancer, but I don't think I actually do that this game. I was thinking about trying to do something here, but I can't really get anything done. Me and Xin are really late for this party. But it's okay. There are Macaulay disconnects, but I don't think that's really that big of a reason that we won this game, honestly. I don't really think that was that big of an issue. Because we pretty much had this in the bag at this point. Xin dies to the turret because he's a pro. Just gonna own the turret because that's what Tristana does. Whoa, lag. That's what Fraps does to me. That pro Soraka doll, because its auto attacks are gonna hurt you so much. We get the inhib, and now we decide that it's a good time to go Baron. So we're gonna go on our way to do that. And then after that, we'll just continue to push to win. So we're Baroning. I'm basically just gonna start it first because my Wriggle's Lantern, what its passive can do is there's a chance that when it hits a monster, it'll do extra damage to that monster. So yeah, it's a pretty good item. It's definitely really good on AD champs because it makes it really easy to farm. So we're just gonna move up. We're gonna get working on pushing to win. We all group mid. Now we're starting to push. We see that Sivir's bot lane. We see Soraka in the jungle. So I think about going for Soraka, but then I say no. If anyone's going to go for it, Kassadin should, because Kassadin's the assassin. That's what he does. Kassadin decides against it too. I think that's for the better. This Irelia is so squishy, it's a joke. And I'm just gonna sit back here auto-attacking this turret with nothing happening to me. None of them want to touch me. It's really funny. Of course I'm gonna back off when I start actually tanking the turret. And then all the while it's 4v5, well 4v4 because their Akali's not here. And Xin is pushing top, so... It was a GG. They definitely had some good moments like that double kill in the earlier game. I do feel like their Akali was not the best, and that's part of the reason why they lost. I don't usually like to blame individual members of teams, but I definitely think that was an issue. I do know that our Sona wasn't the best, but we were able to work with that, and I guess either Irelia wasn't able to handle Mordekaiser top lane, or their team just wasn't able of dealing with their subpar Akali. But this has been iKoopa, guys, and give me some feedback on how I should do this and what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.